Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here, and today I want to talk about how to prepare for your practice session so you get the best results possible. Now before I do, I wanted to remind you that I have my Play From Day One guitar experience, which is a mentorship where I personally coach you through learning your favorite songs faster, using the principles that I lay out inside my book, Practice Less, Play More. I'll be getting to that in a second, but if you want me to be your guitar coach, definitely check out playfromdayone.com, add your name to the waiting list, answer a few questions about your guitar playing, and I'll reach out to you when a spot becomes available for you. So let's get right to it. Practicing is such a simple thing, but it could be a very complicated thing, and it all depends on how you approach it strategically. So I find that a lot of guitar players, they just wing it, okay? They wing it, they pick up the guitar whenever they want, they play whatever they think they should be playing, or whatever they have already been playing, and they just kind of enter this situation where they're not really improving, they're not really doing anything to further their guitar technique or knowledge or just their song list even. So why pre-practice? Because that is really the difference between in my opinion, success on guitar in your practice session and failure, or a really slow experience. If you look at my book, chapter 5, we've got something called pre-practice. So pre-practice. What do we do with pre-practice? Pre-practice is a sort of a part of your practicing that doesn't happen at the same time as you're practicing. So when you pick up a guitar, if you're looking to learn songs right now, then that's not the time for pre-practice, okay? That's not what pre-practice is. Pre-practice is before you even pick up the guitar, okay? So this happens anytime. This could happen, let's say your practice session is at 7 p.m. Well, you can do your pre-practice beforehand. You can do that in the morning, you could do that in the afternoon, you can do that 10 minutes before your practice session. And what is pre-practice? Well, pre-practice is all the preparation that you do so that your practice session is going to be successful. You've heard me talk about this in Pajama Jam. You've heard me talk about this and by the way, Pajama Jam is my show that I broadcast where I learn songs or attempt to learn songs up to speed in 30 minutes or less. And with a situation like that, I need to prepare things so that all I'm doing inside my practice session is practicing, learning, understanding, and developing those skills. So pre-practice is basically important for you because when you're sitting down to practice, you need to have 100% of your brain power focused on playing the guitar, practicing the guitar, and making sure that you get all the results and all the understanding out of it as possible. If all you're doing is sitting down and plunking away at the guitar, then you're kind of just winging it, you're not going to be moving quickly. So pre-practice consists of a lot of different things. And again, if you have a copy of my book, go to chapter 5. If you have the paperback, then go to page 111. It's my wife's lucky number. And so pre-practice basically consists of anything that you need to practice successfully. That could include anything and everything from tuning up the guitar before your practice session. So remember, if your practice session is at 7 p.m., so you make sure it's in tune before you practice, especially if you're learning a song that's in a different tuning. So yeah, I mean, you could always touch it up right before, like in the first 10 seconds of you practicing, but just to double check, or 5 minutes before. But make sure that you're in drop D tuning before you're learning a song in drop D, or make sure if you have, let's say, like dad tuning, make sure you do that beforehand so that the guitar kind of settles in, and then you're not sitting there tuning and trying to get it perfect while you're actually in your practice time, because that time is precious. You shouldn't be eating that up with prep. So tuning the guitar, if you need to change your strings before the session, definitely do that. If you need to have some water, so you put that close by, that constitutes as pre-practice. Clip your nails. My nails are actually longer than they need to be right now, so I would clip my nails. I have my nail clipper, so I have a capo close by. What else? You can have the tab on the screen, or you could have the songbook on a music stand. These are all pre-practice type things where you make sure that when you sit down at 7 p.m., if that's the time that you practice, when you sit down at 7 p.m., you already have everything that you need to have laid out so that you can make the most progress possible. Another thing that I really like to do in pre-practice, besides the fact that I like to have the tab loaded up on my screen, I like to go digital, but having the tab on my screen, I also quickly scan through the tab with my eyes, just scanning through to see if there's any techniques or any blobs of notes that look weird or that they're going to be challenging, or if there's a really big slide. And what I do is I mark that with a red box or an asterisk or a star. I just make sure that I know, okay, this is a part to watch out for. So I'm preparing for that, okay? Now again, if you want me to show you how to do this and walk you through how to do this in your own songs, in the songs you want to learn, then definitely check out playfromday1.com, because I'll actually help you and we'll design a good pre-practice regimen. See, we hear about practice regimens. Practice regimens are obviously, there's a lot to that as well. There's strategy that you could use to learn songs faster, but none of that stuff is going to matter if you don't prepare for the practice session. So again, things, clipping your nails, water bottle close by, making sure that you have even if it's, let's say, if it's winter and it tends to be cold, let's say in your house, have your hoodie or a sweater close by, or maybe have, let's just say, if it's cold, have gloves by the door so you don't forget them, because part of pre-practicing could even be just making sure your hands are warm before the practice session. Okay, so this not just musical stuff; it's also just whatever you need specifically to make sure that your practice session is a success. Okay, if your guitar is inside its case, then you need to take that out before the practice session. So take the guitar out. Things like that are really, really going to make a difference. Hey Tony, how's it going, buddy? So I'm curious to know how you prepare for your practice session. I mean, if you haven't heard of my book, Practice Less, Play More, then I lay this all out in chapter 5. Some really good ideas for pre-practicing and how to get the most out of your practice sessions. So I'm curious, how do you pre-practice? Leave a comment below. Let me know how you prepare for your practice session. If you know about pre-practice, if you've heard me talk about this before, then let me know what your pre-practice sessions consist of. And then I can help you to kind of refine it a little bit, because maybe there's something that you could be doing that makes your practice sessions even more productive, and it's all in pre-practice. Okay, so again, let me know how you practice, how you pre-practice specifically, how you prepare for your practice sessions. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Definitely check out playfromday1.com if you want me to help you with this personally, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.